There's a math genius by the name of Math, and he's been doing this amazing series on looking out for different red flags. I did a video on red flag number 8. This is red flag number 9. Let's go ahead and get right into it.
So my 6 kids all have different dads.
Damn.
Whoa, slow down.
6.
I'm trying to get a few minutes out of this video. You gotta save something for later.
And today, one of the dads came to pick up my son to take him to the beach.
Okay, now we're getting somewhere.
He knocks on the door and he's like, hey, I'm picking up, so-and-so to pick him up for the beach. And I'm like, okay, are you taking the rest of his 5 siblings? Because if you're not taking them,
hold your horses, sister. I'm sorry, I don't care what type of sob story you tell me. If you have 6 different kids by 6 different men, you are automatically the problem. And by the way, too, I'll give you this. I will grant you this. I'll give the first guy a pass. I'll maybe even give the second guy a pass. But by guy number 6, you're just as degenerate as she is. Going into a woman's house, eating her fruit snacks that she getting off of food stamps that she got to provide for 5 different kids, and then getting her pregnant, you are an animal.
not going.
Okay, now we're not getting anywhere. Today's red flag is egocentrism, which means basically whenever somebody is thinking or acting from these lower 3 levels, especially if they don't have any ability to move beyond them. A lot of people think that they understand psychology and they don't. They just repeat words they heard on a screen. That's why I'm trying to give you guys words to repeat, except hopefully it'll be difficult to misuse these. Oh.
Yeah, those are all TikTok words. Anytime I hear those words, I know you have the IQ of like room temperature.
A word that gets misused a lot is narcissist.
Yeah.
It's also mispronounced. It should be narcissist. The guy who fell in love with his reflection was Narcissus. The C is hard in Latin. Anyway, the word basically means egocentric.
Let me look this up. It says here that a narcissist is a person who has an excessive interest in or an admiration of themselves. You mean like a woman saying that she's a 10? An individual showing symptoms of or affected by narcissism, such as an extremely self-centered person who has an exaggerated sense of self-importance. You mean like saying that you are the table? WebMD says narcissism is an extreme self-importance to the point where a person ignores the needs of those around them. You mean like somebody being able to tell you exactly what they want from a man but not being willing or able to tell you what they should do to deserve that type of treatment from a man? You mean like a person like that? And that's why I say I think that social media has normalized and engineered female mental illness. When attention becomes currency, and the only way you can get attention, like you can't juggle, you can't tell a joke, you can't ride on a unicycle, the only way you can get attention is through your looks or your vanity, well then you're going to be rewarded by how self-absorbed you are. And the women who are going to be seen the most and the ones who are going to have the most influence over other women are the ones who are going to be the most narcissistic by design. And then to make it worse, the apps compete to see who can make the best beauty filter. Literally at this point, people see themselves through the lens of beauty filters more than they see themselves normally. I really don't think that humans are even made to see themselves this much.
A selfish jerk. He was egotistical.
Well, let me go back a little bit here, guys.
Nerd basically means egocentric. They'll say, my ex was a narcissist, meaning that he was a selfish jerk. He was egotistical, he was controlling, he was selfish. And here's the problem. Those are things that a narcissist would say about a more highly developed person.
Yep.
So someone who is egocentric will call you egocentric if you don't give them what they want. This happened to me when I was 22. I had a girlfriend who trampled all over my boundaries, and I said, I don't like that. You have to stop that or we have to break up. And she told me that I was controlling and selfish and abusive, but it was actually her. This is a common relationship type where somebody who's at level 5 or level 6 will meet someone who's at level 3.
Yeah, it's just shaming you to get you out of your standards. And the funniest part is, if you're saying that you can do whatever you want, but we're not going to be in a relationship, that's literally the opposite of being controlling. He's literally saying, go do whatever you want, but we're not going to be in a relationship. That's the opposite of controlling, in my opinion.
And they will think, well, you're not a belonger. You're not like these conformist people in the middle. So you must be up here with me. Whereas in reality, they're down here beneath conformity. They haven't gotten through it yet. And I'm going to show you how to tell the difference with levels. But first, a quick reminder. I did a lot of reading to learn all this stuff, and I took a lot of notes, and my sponsor, Shortform, took the notes for you. Learn more about human behavior faster with Shortform. 20% off with my link. So let's figure out what this lovely lady
But that was a short ad. That's perfect.
is saying.
He's like, the other kids are not my responsibility. I don't need to take them anywhere. And I'm like, well, if you want to take your child on whatever activities you have planned for the day, then you must include the rest of his siblings. It is not fair that you're going to take one child to the beach and then you were going to go fishing and do all these other activities and for their siblings to be home bored.
Let's stop right there. This refined young lady has 6 kids with 6 guys. One of the guys comes to take care of his kid. I don't know how he knows which one it is. Good for him. And then she says that he must also take care of 5 other guys' kids. That's sign number 1, because this is not something that's agreed upon in our society. This is not a rule that we have that you must take care of all of the children of.
Well, it's because she made that rule because she wants to benefit off of all of the baby fathers taking care of all of the kids. And it's crazy because the system that men uphold allows for these types of women to have this type of authority over father. And so now the father and the kid can't even have a genuine moment together because they have to live based on the rules of this narcissistic mother who's at the center of it all. She has all of the authority and she doesn't even have the ability to govern her own life. She makes horrible decisions for herself. So of course she's going to make horrible decisions for the kid.
Her baby mama, but she said that he must do it. That language indicates that she thinks she's in control of all people and the whole world.
Well, she is in control of all people in the world, at least in this situation. She's in control of this world for sure, the world that she's curated around herself, and the government is going to allow her to do that. The government is going to allow for her to strip away her father's rights. A man as a father has to fight for rights for their own children, which is insane to me.
Control consciousness. And control consciousness is not a bad thing if it's inside of higher levels, but she obviously cannot get there. If she could, she would be able to take a second-person perspective and think, what would it be like if I was baby daddy and I had to care for 5 kids that were not mine? She is not capable of doing this. That's why she says must. She confuses I want with you must. Those are the same thing at this level. Remember, scumbag Steve, it's cool for me to smoke in your house because it just is, because that's just the way things are. That's where her mind is. She has not yet grown to a level where she can understand
that. But the difference is scumbag Steve gets his ass whooped. She gets to have immunity to ruin people's lives backed by the government and the state sponsored by your tax dollars, by the way. So that's the difference between her and him.
This is what I want, but not what you want. She does not yet understand that baby daddy does not want to spend his resources on another guy's kids. Baby daddy then says that the other siblings are not his responsibility, and she replies that that is not fair to the siblings. Notice that she has 0 recognition of what's not fair to baby daddy. That's sign number 2. Let's continue.
So I told him, if you do not take the rest of his siblings, if you don't take all 5 of his siblings, he will not be going. And guess what? Now they're here in the backyard playing because he refused to take his siblings with him. And now my son is in the room crying because he thinks his dad is the bad guy.
Did you catch all those? She said the siblings are here because baby daddy refused and not because of her. Then she said my son, not ours, thinks his dad is the bad guy. He doesn't have to think that. You can tell him what you did.
Exactly.
One is not going to go to the beach while the other ones stay here at home not doing anything. That is simply not right.
Simply not right means it just is.
It's all of them or none of them.
It just is.
And in this case, obviously it was none. So now I'm the one that's stuck here with 6 children.
This is a bad thing happening to me, not you. Bad things can't happen to you because you don't have needs. So that's how you recognize actual narcissism or egocentrism.
Yeah.
It's not just when disagree, it's what I want just is.
Funniest part is there are so few narcissists in the world. I think it's less than 1% of the population of people are narcissists. The fact that women say that all of them have dated a narcissist just goes to show that they're all dating the same small minority of men.
If you ever get accused of this dumb buzzword, here's what you do. You say, I see what you want. It's this, this, and this, right? And if she says yes, you say, well, I just don't want the same thing. And if she says that her way is right because it just is, then you're not the bad guy. That is second-person perspective. Level 1 is what I want. Level 2 is what I can get from you and how I get it. Level 3 is what I can get from my world and network and how I can get it. And it's not until level 4 that you start to think, oh, what about what you want? That's right here, second-person perspective. I'm personally working on 6th myself, but I'll explain that in an upcoming video. Don't forget to click my link. I've got a lot going on right now.
Math.
You can get life guidance with SelfMax. You can get my charts digitally or as posters.
Okay, y'all check
you
'em
can
out.
buy my book, get a mug or a t-shirt. Come personally talk to me on Discord by joining HM Elite. I hang out there at least every few days. And more is coming. I have a new book coming out soon.
Okay.
See you next time.